Hello, everybody. Welcome to Standard Definition here on Watch Rush Games. I am your host this episode, Eddie V, and joining me is the wise Wisconsinite, Mr. Jesse Douglas,
How's it going?
and of course, Bossman himself, Mr. Corey Derrick.
I am here. I'm very happy that the show is happening.
Yes. So we have come together to talk one of Jesse's favorite movies. He has a love for this, and I just watched this movie for the first time. We are here to discuss the film Man in Black. Just to give you guys a head up about this film, Men in Black is a 1997 American science fiction action comedy film directed by Barry Sonnenfeld, produced by Walter F. Parks and Laurie McDonald, and written by Ed Solomon. Loosely adapted from the Men in Black comic book series created by Lowell Cunningham and Sadie Carruthers, the film stars Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith as two agents of a secret organization called the Men in Black, who supervise extraterrestrial life forms who live on Earth and hide their existence from ordinary humans. The film featured the creature effects and makeup of Rick Baker and visual effects by Industrial Light and Magic. The film was released on July 2nd, 1997 by Columbia Pictures and grossed over $589.3 million worldwide against a $90 million budget, becoming the year's third highest grossing film. It received worldwide acclaim, with critics highly praising its witty, sophisticated humor, plot, thematic profundity, action scenes, Jones and Smith's performances, directing, special effects, and Danny Elfman's musical score. The film received 3 Academy Award nominations for Best Art Direction, Best Original Score, and Best Makeup, winning the later award, so it won Best Makeup. The film spawned 2 sequels, Men in Black 2 in 2002 and Men in Black 3 2012, a spin-off film, Men in Black International from 2019, and a 1997 to 2001 animated series.
I loved the animated show too.
I used to watch it too. I used to watch the animated series.
I can't believe you've never seen this movie, Ed.
I know. I was so shocked.
I was
glad that he was watching it though today.
This is such a seminal movie from the 90s, like especially because of the height of Will Smith's like popularity after Fresh Prince and him actually coming in like with Men in Black and Bad Boys, and like he's such like I cannot. When I heard you'd never seen this movie, I was shocked because like I love this movie too, and like I can't believe you've never seen this movie.
This movie nothing appealed to me in this movie. Like I saw the trailer for it and I was just like, this doesn't look funny or interesting at all. Like something about it just didn't be like, oh, I need to go see this. I was just like, just it was nothing there for me. I think I was 17 when this movie came out, so of course I'm in high school at that time.
Trying to be a bad boy.
Actually, can I tell
I couldn't
you,
go
like,
see this.
like my things when it came to movies and stuff is that if I had money to go to the movies, I would go see them. Other than that, I literally was in video games, reading EGM, and house music was like my life. So it was more music and doing things in Chicago, and gospel and everything that really was my thing. And still being nerdy and stuff. And when it came to movies, it was just like I want to see a mystery movie or I want to see an action like ninja movie and stuff. And this one just did not get to me. But before we get into everything, Jesse, I want to hear from you. When you first saw this, what was your reaction to it?
Like when I saw it, like I grew up watching, obviously the Fresh Prince and like I loved that show, and and I used to listen to Will Smith's albums and stuff like that, and like he had been in some other stuff, but like for me, like I love sci-fi. Like sci-fi is by far my favorite genre of movie, of TV show, you name it. I love sci-fi. And so and comedy, like I just always grew up loving comedy of all different kinds. And so like ultimately like when this movie came out, like it was like completely, I was in my element. It was like everything that I loved in one movie, at that time. And mind you, I would have been a little bit like a couple of years younger than you at that time. So yeah, like when this movie came out, I was like super excited for it. And when I went to go see it, like it made me laugh. It made me, like I was just so pleasantly surprised with what a great movie it was. And like at that point in time, and I honestly, I think I can say still today, it's probably one of my top two, top three, favorite Will Smith, things that exist, including, like Fresh Prince. Like it's possibly could be my favorite thing that he's done. Like I've seen a lot of his other stuff, and more present and in the past. I've even seen and did somewhat enjoy the Wild Wild West, but
jeez.
I watched that movie for my friend's birthday. And it was just like, I can't stand this movie. I can't go no more. This movie is.
Yeah, see, and that's the thing. If someone like you that hadn't seen Men in Black had seen that movie before Men in Black, I could see where you may never give Men in Black a chance, thinking if it's anything like that. Because, like, mind you, it's by far like not my favorite thing that he's in, and it's probably one of the worst, in my opinion. But I still did enjoy it for what it was. It's definitely not going to be something I pick to watch today or tomorrow, but it is what it was.
Fun fact: Will Smith passed on The Matrix to make Wild
Wild
West.
I just found that out. I did not know about that.
Oh man!
I learned about that like I think like last year or something.
I still don't know how The Matrix would have turned out with Will Smith, though.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, the second two movies aren't like the greatest movies, but that first movie is amazing.
Yeah. So, well, and it's one of those things like that. Like, I feel like he could do a serious character, but at the same time, I don't know if it would have been the right fit, anyways, for that character.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Corey, what was your reaction when you first saw this movie?
I loved Men in Black. I thought it was just really fun, and like Jesse, I loved Will Smith in just about anything I saw him, and I loved Fresh Prince, and just I liked sci-fi stuff, and I just thought that this movie was fun. I remember going to see it in the theater with my cousins and my mom, and like it was just fun. I just really liked it a lot, and just seeing like laser guns and aliens like exploding into slime and stuff, and the stupid little talking dog, and it was
dude, that's like one of the best characters.
Yeah,
we'll get to that.
And I just really loved them. I really loved the movie when I saw it, and I think it's when we did the Turtles episode, there are things in that movie that don't hold up, right? There are things in that movie that are shot badly or anything, but I still love the movie just from a fan standpoint, and I just really love the movie, and I think Will Smith is hilarious, and I think Tommy Lee Jones is surprisingly funny in this movie in like a dry way, and I think that Will Smith's over the top personality plays off of Tommy Lee Jones very well, you know. And
Yeah.
I just really liked this movie. And you know what's funny is I've never seen Men in Black 2 and 3. I've only seen the first one, but I love the first movie. You know, maybe I've seen bits and pieces of the second one and the third one at times, but like I don't really remember them as well as I remember this first movie if I have, you know. So
Yeah. 2 is on Netflix because that's how I watched 1.
Yeah, I'll probably watch that again. It's been a while since I've seen 2, but I do remember liking 2 quite a bit as well. 3 not as much, but it wasn't awful.
Yeah. This movie was baffling. I did not laugh. I did not ha. I was.
You're just a terrible human being.
Okay, so Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith, their chemistry literally carries the whole movie. Really works. It really works and everything. And I love the nurse, the doctor too. She was really good. But I'm like, is this movie for adults? Is this supposed to be for kids? I was confused, and I was just sitting here eating my pizza, watching it, just like, I don't know if I'm supposed to be enjoying this. I don't know if I'm supposed to be laughing. Now, him shaking the dog and everything, the pug.
Yeah,
that was really funny, and yeah, right. And me and Jesse was talking about the aliens, and they just pouring coffee.
Yeah.
What aliens smoking?
Yeah, those aliens.
I love those
stupid
guys.
Funny.
Yeah, it's so like it, and I think because of seeing them in the animated show, they were really funnier and really appealing in the animated show. In this movie, I was just like, okay, I see what they're supposed to be, but I was literally lost on what the story was supposed to be. I kind of got it later on and everything, but it was just like, I don't know, it felt like a jumble mess, and I thought this would be like a action-packed sci-fi movie or like some comedy and some, you know, like one-liners and stuff like that. But it kind of felt like, is this supposed
to dramedy almost?
In a way, yeah. But it
almost feels like a detective movie too.
Yeah, in a sense. And like at some points it felt like, okay, this is supposed to be like family friendly, like PG-13. But then it felt like, is this supposed to be, what is that Damon Wayans football movie? Where the quarterback, he's running, he gets to the infield and he said life's a beat, and he kills himself. He like shoots himself because he was shooting different players. Cannot think of that movie. But it felt like at times it's supposed to be like a R-rated movie at times, and I'm just like, this is a mixture of a lot of stuff.
Oh man, a rated R Men in Black movie be hilarious.
Well, with a lot of the cussing and a lot of the stuff going on, I didn't know, like, is this supposed to be rated R or PG-13? It was really baffling to me. Like, what is the consistency of this? What this movie's supposed to be? So I'm not saying it was a bad movie. Not saying that I didn't enjoy it. I was just like,
I mean, I think nostalgia has a lot to play into this movie, to be honest. Because I don't think it's a great movie either, but it's just dumb fun, you know. Like we talked about in the Turtles movie. Like,
yes,
it's just dumb fun, and you know, there's just certain plot devices in the movie that just move the movie along because they probably couldn't think of anything else to do. Or, you know, and it's like you said, it's really built off of Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones' chemistry, and they're like, I think Tommy Lee Jones arguably is the funnier character in this movie because he's so dry.
Yeah.
And he's so like
his dry wit.
Yeah. And that's what makes their chemistry for sure carries this movie.
Yeah, it was just like, plus with some of the deaths, I'm like, okay, this is a little bit too visual for kids to see. Like, what is okay?
My son watched it last weekend. He loved it. Big fan of the movie.
Where, well, let's run through this movie. After a government agency makes first contact with aliens in 1961, alien refugees live in secret on Earth by disguising themselves as humans in the New York metropolitan area. Men in Black, or MIB in short, is a secret agency that polices these aliens, protects Earth from intergalactic threats, and use memory erasing neuralizers to keep alien activity a secret. MIB agents have their former identities erased, and retired agents are neuralized and given new identities. After an operation to arrest an alien criminal named Mikey near the Mexican border by agents K and D, D decides that he is too old for his job, prompting K to neuralize him so he can retire. So it starts out that one of these drivers is driving these Mexican people close to the border, and he's talking to everybody and everything. He sees the border patrol. He stops and kind of makes a turn, and all of these policemen go to where. Now, I don't know what the policemen outfits were, but they don't wear that at the Mexican border. I was just like,
you're talking about the hat and like the generic costume shop cop shirts and stuff.
Yeah. What is this?
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, wait a minute. It's just the way that it says Border Patrol. It looked like the background of the Warner Brothers sign.
They might as well just stuck masking tape on their shirts and wrote it in crayon or magic marker or something. Like I get it.
Yeah.
I was just like, wow. And at that time, they know who the farmer is or the person is. He said he goes fishing. He says, let's see what you caught, because he was trying to bring some people to America. And so they open up the door and they see, and I thought that I thought all of them were aliens and they were going to disappear, or they was going to turn into something or morph into something, but apparently that didn't happen. So they all move out and they all get in line. While the cop is talking to him, Tommy Lee Jones and his assistant, they drive up, and he's talking to the cops and everything, and he addresses the main one with the hat and everything, like kind of watch your mouth and stuff and everything. And so he's going one by one to each Mexican, speaking Spanish to him. And he gets to this last Mexican who would look more Native American than Mexican to me. And so he's talking, and he kind of knows that, while speaking to this Mexican person, the Mexican don't understand Tommy Lee Jones is speaking Spanish to him. And so, and this is all in the cold open. So he tells everybody to go get back in the van and go have a life in America. The Border Patrol's just like, no, you can't do that. We tell him, and he's just like, go have. And Tommy Lee gets on them and everything. And they go over to another place, and Tommy Lee reveals that he is he is an alien and everything. While all of this is happening, one of the main guys, policeman with the hat, comes in. His hat reminded me of the Yellow Dad from George the Monkey.
Curious George.
Curious George.
Curious
The
George.
man in the yellow hat.
And so you see him on top of this hill, and did you see this white light like giving him shadow? And they're around all of these cactus, and while talking to the alien, he kind of reveals himself, and the alien is kind of like, whatever. And because the alien gets found out, he grows big and start running to attack the patrolman. The guy, he's trying to get his gun. He ends up fumbling and everything. And Tommy Lee was just like, I got it. And right when the alien is about to get him, Tommy Lee shoots him, and his head explodes, and all of this blue gloop gets on.
Dude, it's so like, not like gross and like a you know, like you would see like something in Resident Evil or something. It's just gross because it just looks like it looks like blue toothpaste almost, like that consistency, and it's just dumped on him like
that Colgate blue stuff.
Yeah, like
or
what?
What's the blob from the Monsters, or not Monsters Inc. Aliens. What is it? The Monsters versus Aliens.
Oh,
There's
I know.
one.
Yeah.
Bob. That's it. Bob.
Yeah. So he has all this gloop on him, and he comes down, and Tommy Lee is, I
like how he's using the actor's name and not the character's name.
Well,
I know. I'm just messing with you. I just keep going. I'm just messing with you.
So Tommy Lee is like talking to him, and then a little bit later, the rest of the guys come on. But while Tommy Lee is talking to him, the Man in Black crew, another agency, comes, and where Tommy Lee tells them what they need to do, and so they're to cut the cactus on fire. Tommy Lee and the other guy put on their shades, they neuralize them, and tells them that so a pipeline exploded and they almost got hurt and everything, but luckily they were safe. While the man in the front, and the camera shot is like in front of him, he still got the blue gloop on him. He's just like, and so he tells them to go back to where they was at and get checked by the EMT. Now I'm thinking they're gonna show the shot that the van that stopped with all the other Mexicans has left, but they just cut it and go into Will Smith chasing on. So what did you guys think about that?
It was a good. I thought it was a really good start to the movie. It kind of set the mood of what the movie is gonna be like. What you can expect.
Yeah, I also like how the alien's name is Mikey. Like just like no special alien name, no government issued like number or anything. Yep. Like his name's just Mikey. The alien's name is Mikey. Just So I thought that was pretty funny. I thought this whole scene was just pretty comical and just like I really feel like it did set the tone for the movie. Although like I feel like the movie overall didn't follow the tone that this opening kind of wanted to set for it. Right? I feel like the tone for this was going to be a little bit more over the top and kind of more comical than the movie actually is. Like, besides like the characters and stuff, like I just thought like, oh man, let's just shoot aliens and all this. It's almost like a more special effects heavy Starship Troopers is what I was like almost expecting, but like high budget, with real actors and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I kind of felt. And then the movie is what it is, and I like the movie, but this opening just feels totally different from almost the rest of the movie. So
yeah,
but I thought it was funny. I liked it.
Yeah, like if the movie felt like that, I could understand. Like, okay, I can enjoy this ride for what it is. But like I said, baffling. NYPD officer James Darrell Edwards III pursues a supernaturally fast and agile suspect into the Solomon R. Guggenheim Museum. Impressed, Kate interviews James about his encounter, then neuralizes him and leaves him a business card with the address. Edwards goes to the address and undergoes a series of tests, for which he finds unorthodox solutions, including a rational hesitation and a targeting test. While the other candidates, who are military grade, are neuralized, Kate offers Edwards a position with the MIB. Edwards' success and his identity in civilian life are erased as he becomes Agent J. Now, I enjoyed this part, like the chase scene. I love that part. And then when Will Smith is being interviewed and the other cop who gave up, Will Smith was reading him to death. He was just like, yeah, if you would stop running to the donut shop or something, Will Smith would have beat that. And then Will Smith just stands up, and you see the height difference between them.
Yeah.
Will Smith was just like going at him, and they were just like, "How was you able to run to him?" He was just like, "Well, I'm faster than others," and then he just gives that hint. He's like, "What you saying, boy?"
Yeah. Yeah, this whole scene was pretty funny, right? Like I feel like, the scene where like there's when he's chasing the guy down, right? Mm-hmm. And he realizes that there's something weird about him, like when he watches him crawl up the side of the building, right? Like he just kind of like gives this weird look, and then he runs all the way up the building stairs, and then when the guy kind of blinks at him but does like the sideways eye, yeah. And Will Smith finally like realizes that he wasn't like, there's something wrong with this guy, right? And then and then when he goes to MIB, like the targeting test is clearly the funniest, but also when he drags the big chair across the
table,
when he drags the table to use it. And then but then his pencil breaks. But instead of just using the side that didn't break, he like tries to hold the pencil together, like in the middle. This whole scene is just it's so funny.
I did like the part where he was trying to throw the alien, and the alien runs and runs up the wall and flips. I thought that was pretty cool. After that gun breaks.
Yeah.
Jesse, what was your thoughts on this section?
Yeah, I mean, it was it was a funny, good part, and again, like just kind of like they did a good job of kind of moving the story along, but kind of keeping it comical and stuff. So.
There is a part where they go to they all take the test. We don't know how that turns out, but then they all got a gun and they're in shooting facility practicing. And so the buzzer rings and they're all shooting. Will Smith is just like looking and everything. He lifts his gun out and gives out one shot, and everything is over. And the main guy who comes out, who's doing the test, asks Will Smith,
Why did you shoot
the little girl?
Yeah.
And so he's talking about what each alien is doing. And he was just like, well, sister girl here, or little Missy or whatever, Missy, she may be like an 8-year-old, and she's walking around with a quantum physics book and some other book. She about to mean trouble. And he deducted everything. Like one of the monsters is on a bar thing, so he might be lifting up weights. Another monster, as you can see in his hand, got tissue, so he might be going to do something emotional and everything. And when he gets to the little girl, he was just like, what 6-year or 8-year-old girl that is walking around in the neighborhood with a quantum physics book?
Yeah. Yeah, I love that part. That was good.
And all the military men are just like, we didn't even realize that. They were just shooting because they seen aliens.
Yeah.
And I like that deduction. I like that detective part that he broke everything down. Corey, go ahead.
Just the idea of him also too being sympathetic and like looking at the aliens as not something bad.
Yeah.
It just kind of was a cool way of looking at it. That like in a roundabout way can be practiced in real life today. Just don't judge people by the way they look. Like that, like how someone looks doesn't mean anything. it could be the person that looks normal that's the real problem.
Corey, any thoughts about that shooting scene?
I mean, nothing that you guys didn't already say. I just thought it was funny that he shot this girl that was just carrying books.
It shot her dead in the head.
Yeah. So I mean, it's funny, right? Like it's just a funny scene, you know.
Yeah.
I miss movies from the 90s where like, I mean, like I realize that there's stuff that we need to talk about and there's important issues to discuss and stuff, but there's just like something really funny about like people not caring like what they're doing. Like shooting a kid in the head would not fly in the movie today, right? Even like a fake one, really, right? Like unless it's like a rated R kind of like hard movie that is really trying to deliver a message, right?
Face Off is complete nonsense.
Yeah, but like just like even shooting a kid in the head is like, even a fake one is like probably a big no in today's society, you know. And like this is like this being in this movie is just like, it's super funny. It's really funny. And it's funny. He's like, well, that guy on that light pole, he's just working out. You know, it's just like he just casually says it, like says all these things. It's good. It's a good time.
Yeah. So they go to the third part of the test, and while the army men are walking out, Tommy Lee stops Will Smith and kind of talks to him, and they're passing the room. And the leader is arresting the other military man's memory. So it goes on there. In upstate New York, an alien illegally crash lands on Earth, kills a farmer named Edgar, and uses his skin as a disguise. Tasked with finding a device called the Galaxy, the Edgar alien goes into a New York restaurant and finds two aliens, disguised as humans, who are supposed to have it in their possession. He kills them and takes a container from them, but is angered to find only diamonds inside. After learning about the incident in a tabloid magazine, Kay investigates the crash landing and concludes that Edgar's skin was taken by a bug, a species of aggressive cockroach-like aliens. He and Jay head to a morgue to examine the bodies the bug killed. Inside one body, which turns out to be a piloted robot, they discover a dying Aquilian alien who says that to prevent war, the galaxy is on Orion's belt. The alien, Orion's belt. The alien, who used the name Rosenberg, was a member of the Aquilian royal family. Kay fears his death may spark a war. And so when it gets to that part landing, the cow is just eating and just having a time. And right, the man is telling the wife, Edgar is telling his wife that she's worthless, she can't cook. You know, the only thing that actually does something in this family is in his car. And the moment he said that sauce, the airship crashes to the car and blows up. And Edgar comes out, played by sorry everybody, Criminal Intent, the lawyer from Criminal Intent. Why can I not find it? There we go. Vincent D. Onofrio. He plays as Edgar in this. And so he goes out, and with his shotgun, he's just like, okay, let's see what's going on this time. And then he gets in and walks into his hole, and the alien is speaking to him, and Edgar's just like, not over my dead body. And the alien said, I can make that happen, or something like that. And then takes him, and they start fighting, and he swallows him and everything. And Edgar tries to come out, but he goes back down and gets swallowed. And the cow is just looking at all of this. And I'm just like, is the cow the alien? Like, what is going on? And so you see all of that, and he goes into the house looking deformed and everything. Like, I don't know how he pulled that off. That's some good acting. He asked the wife for some sugar, and
sugar.
Water. she pours all the sugar into the water and he starts to drink it. I don't know what that really was all about. Like,
It's the type of alien. The type of alien that he is, they need sugar water to survive.
Yeah.
okay, because that was
They explain that later. He says it later when they're trying to figure out when they're figuring out what kind of alien it was and stuff like that. But
because the wife sees what's going on and then she passes out. Like she's
Yeah.
just like, it was the
Yeah.
and he never drinks no more sugar water throughout the whole movie. That was weird. That was like the only time you see that.
yeah,
Yeah.
So
It's it's so weird though, because like his face and stuff is all just like deformed and like falling off.
Yes.
And,
yeah, like a rubber mask that it's so like I love that character so much.
I was laughing at the cow because the cow was just like, I see this too many times. I know what's going on. He wasn't facing, and then the cow, just the way that the cow was walking was just like, I'm not even about to move or nothing. I'm just gonna walk. I was just like, this cow knows what's up.
yeah, that cow just was like, nah.
Yes,
There's still grass here to eat.
exactly. During that time, they kind of before we get a little bit on in the movie, Will Smith and Tommy Lee go into an antique shop, and they talk to sorry about that. They talk to Tony Shaboob, who is Jack G's. He's a pawn shop owner who deals in illegal weapon, and Will Smith and Tommy Lee is threatening him and everything. And just out of the blue, Tommy Lee ends up shooting his head, and Will Smith just like, wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah, and then his head grows back, and he's all like slimy and sweaty and stuff.
And see, I thought that it was when his hair grew back, it was gonna fix his eye. Like, why was his eye like the foreign cricket? I was just like, this is not right at all.
Yeah.
Another part though too, like that was kind of in the last scene that I really like is when she's doing the autopsy on the body or whatever, and you know he pretends like he's done, you know, like he knows what he's doing or whatever, and she says to check his organs, and so then Will Smith like digs his hand around in there, and he's like, oh yeah, everything seems good. She's like, what do you mean? There's no organs there. And then he's like trying to go, and then she finally she starts to figure stuff out, and then obviously then the face opens up, and then you see that little alien in there when he tells, and that part's funny too, like where he's doing the whole like fake like dying, like slowly dying thing where he's trying to say words, and they start like, you know, like shouting out words, and then he's like, then he repeats whatever one, you know, they said, and then slowly dies. Like that, that whole scene I found entertaining as well.
Yeah, it was kind of cool with that. When she was hitting on Will Smith, and Will Smith wasn't like getting hit, just like,
oh yeah, he thought she was hitting on him, but yeah, that was later on. Yeah.
It's funny because every time they met somebody, he would introduce Will Smith as somebody else. So he was Dr. Dark. When he met the girl for the first time, he was Dr. White. And Will Smith was just looking at him like, wait, what?
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Because in the beginning, like when he says that he was gonna join, he's like, I'll join, but you're not gonna call me like Ace or
Sport or Junior.
or Sport or
and he's like no problem, Slick or something.
Yeah.
and then when they finally get into the building, and like what's his face, like the leader of the MIB gets down there. He calls him Tiger.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just so funny.
Is that Agent Zed or
Yeah.
whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, like Rip Torn. I like Rip
Yeah.
Torn. He's a good actor.
R.I.P.
Yeah. When they actually got into the car, Will Smith was making fun of the car, and he was just like, "Can you?" He's just like, "Put on your seat." Tommy Lee saying, "Put on your seatbelt," and Will Smith was just like, "Can you ask me nicely? You could say it in a better way." He's just like, "Can you put on your seatbelt, please?" And Will Smith doesn't put it on, and
Yeah.
the next thing you know, it becomes an Addams Family like Fast Rewind, Benny Hill
Yeah.
thing. How he backs up real fast and then starts
Yeah.
going. And that happens a little bit later on in the movie. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
But Edgar Erlian, before he even got into the city, he met the pest controller before he
Yeah.
steals his car, and he was just like, "I know what kind of pest I'm going to get rid of, and it's supposed to be getting rid of all the humans." And he takes this little thing and stuffs it right in his mouth, and all this green
Yeah.
gas come out, and it's just a shot of him falling with the thing, and it was just like, this might be too much for kids. And that
Well-
was kind of like, this is a little bit violent right there.
Yeah, well, didn't he see him killing cockroaches or killing bugs or something like that?
Yeah.
And so then he got mad, and that's why he did that.
Yeah, but he's like a pest control and stuff. So it was really
Yeah.
funny him driving that car to New York and stuff.
Mhm.
It's just like, wow, like, you are a bug. If any of the chemicals get on you, this should be hurting you and stuff.
Yeah.
And so, well, moving on. Oh, go ahead. Did you have anything?
Oh no, I was just gonna say he's protected by his Egger suit.
Oh yeah. So, MIB informant Frank the Pug explains that the missing galaxy is a massive energy source housed in a small jewel. Jay deduces that the galaxy is hanging on the collar of Rosenberg's cat, Orion, which refuses to leave the body at the morgue.
Wait, what's
JK
the cat's name?
Orion.
No, it's Orion.
Orion.
The way that I see it, I think of Orion.
Yeah,
because
it's
like,
Orion, like the star.
Yeah, Orion's belt.
Star. Star.
Like the
well, I've
constellations.
never seen Orion spelled that way, or like I've never heard like seen the spelling of Orion. Because there's some people who do apostrophe RYAN for some.
Oh yeah,
You know,
kind of like O'Reilly's.
yeah. So that's why I was just like Orion, because the RION, the way that it is, which refuses to leave the body at the morgue. J&K arrive just as the bug takes the galaxy and kidnaps the coroner, Laura Weaver. Meanwhile, an Aquilian battleship fires a warning shot in the Arctic and delivers a ultimatum to the MIB. Return the galaxy within a galactic standard week in an hour of Earth time, or they will destroy Earth. That part was really confusing because it was just like, how do they know about any of this for them to like send a warning shot like that?
Because they're
Yeah,
aliens.
Yeah, I think it was like probably something to do with a life. There was probably some kind of life thing inside the like the robot body
Mhm.
that he died in, so they probably can sense the life force or whatever.
Yeah.
Because that's a typical thing they do a lot in alien movies where some aliens have like some kind of sense of life force, or like E.T. you had it where he could make his finger glow, and that would call his people and let them know. But
Okay. And the coroner, Laura Weaver, she looks at the cat, looks into the ball, and it shows this big galaxy, and her eyes are just glowing, just like
she's
all of
like,
this knowledge, like
amazed.
yeah, and everything. There gets a point where Edgar finds her, and is ready to try to find out where's the cat and everything, and then the cat falls that like jumps down and like hides and everything.
Mhm.
And she's like, I don't know. And then you hear a ring because Tommy Lee and Will Smith, they were
Yeah.
arguing who's gonna go in, and Will Smith said, "Give me 5 minutes," and Tommy Lee's just like, "You got 2 minutes," and so. You hear the ring and stuff in the corner. She just shows up. Like it don't even show her like walking to Will Smith or anything. She
Well,
just like
he walks in. He goes in, and then he walks into the morgue room, and then she's standing there by
You
the
said,
by
okay.
the cart. Remember? Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. He goes in.
Okay. I thought there was some weird editing thing. I must have, when I was eating my pizza, I must have
Well-
looked down for a minute and missed it.
Yeah, they do this like thing where I think they had a camera kind of like it's up at the ceiling looking straight down, and you see him like coming in, and then like say, you know, like he's ringing the bell, and then he just walks in because no one was coming to him,
No,
I believe.
Okay.
And then he sees her there.
Yeah, and she's trying to give Will Smith hints like, I really need you to check something out. And he's just
Yeah.
like, whoa, I can't be looking at that. She's like, no, I need you to look. And she's backing down, and Will Smith finally gets a glimpse and be like, oh, okay. While that is happening, Tommy Lee goes in and he goes to the thing and he walks back. He puts something in his hand, but while that's happening, this big slide thing drops from the ceiling and falls in his hand. Tommy Lee looks up, and I guess it was the secretary, or something. She's all glued up on the roof, and I'm like, whoa, that is, yeah.
Yeah. It was what's his name? I'm blanking on it. That does, doesn't he? Didn't he do Robot Chicken?
Seth Green?
Yeah, Seth Green. Wasn't it Seth Green?
No, Seth Green wasn't in this.
Oh, I guess I don't know why I thought it was him that got pasted up to the ceiling.
What do you think, Corey? Like when you were seeing all of that going on?
Sorry, I muted myself. I mean,
it was David Cross.
It was kind of, I mean, it was gross, right? Like it's just like there's just a like in the 80s and 90s, there's just like a lot of overuse of like slimy substances.
Yeah,
it's just like
Nickelodeon.
Yeah. Like it kind of like had that consistency though, right? Like it's kind of just like gross.
Okay. Now let's get into shaking Mikey the Pug getting shaken. So he's like, the pug is talking back to her, and Tommy Lee just gets up and like, let me down. He's just like, we want to know answers. And he starts shaking her, and there's
people are looking.
Right, it looked like a bunch of tourist people just like, what is going on? And Will Smith's just like, he's trying his ventriloquist act.
Yeah.
I was just like, wow.
Yeah. That's such a good scene.
And every time he was shaking, he was barking. Bark, 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 bark.
he was just like, It's good times. I hate that dog though. I hate it's funny, but like I hate that dog so much. So bad.
Yeah. So they actually go back to the building for where Man in Black is, and they see that the time is going down, and they're actually trying to figure out like some stuff. And Will Smith is thinking, and he walks and he looks, and he's just like, fellas, they're still talking. He's like, hey guys, and they're still talking. And he said, oh man. And everybody in the place stop.
Looks. Yeah.
He's just like, are those things still working? And then it's a shot of the towers and everything. Yeah. So the bug arrives at the observation towers of the 1964 and 1965 New York World's Fair New York State Pavilion at Flushing Meadows, which disguised two real flying saucers. Once there, Laura escapes the bus clutches when it accidentally drops her and she falls into a tree. It activates one of the saucers and tries to leave Earth, but K and J shoot it down and the ship crashes into the Unisphere. I remember this one being a trailer because you could see the blue screen of the dirt and everything.
Yeah.
The bug sheds Edgar's skin and swallows Jay and Kay's gun. Kay provokes it until he too is swallowed. The bug tries to escape on the other ship, but Jay slows it down by taunting it and crushing cockroaches, angering it. Kay blows the bug apart from the inside, having found his gun inside his stomach. Jay and Kay recover the galaxy and relax, thinking the whole ordeal is over, only for the still living upper half of the bug to pounce on them from behind, but Laura kills it with Jay's gun. And the crack, so he's stepping on the cockroach, and the Edgar, the bug, is just like, huh? He hears it.
Yeah, his spines like go up, like hairs standing up on the back of your neck.
Yeah.
Like my favorite part about the scenes that you just talked about though is when they shoot the spaceship. Mm-hmm. And it comes crashing down, and Will Smith is gonna get out of the way and move out of the way, but then he grabs his shoulder and pulls him back and says no, and he just stand there stoically as it, like, right up in front of them.
And you can see how the special effects of the blue screen is. It's just like the outside of Tom and Lee, you can just see the difference.
I mean, you can almost see the glowing like of the screen, you know, like because the lighting is like not correct, and it's, I mean, you just see the glowing from the blue screen, almost like when it looks like it was shot in my office with a crappy green screen, right? It just like you can still see like a slight line of the blue screen a little bit, and like it's I mean, you can tell it's been digitally edited out, but like it's still there, and it's just it's bad.
Yeah, so while he was killing the cockroaches, he was just like, "Oh, was that your uncle? This must be your auntie. Oh, I stepped on your grandma," and he was just doing it like on purpose, in the way that Will Smith was just like attacking his whole family of cockroaches. Yeah. I was just like, wow. And so,
and like, what was his saying? Like when he's like, if you gonna start, he's like you better finish.
I was just like, all of these cockroaches, and they were big cockroaches too. I'm like,
yeah, well, bugs, man, pass. Let me tell you, pass.
Yes.
Well, and like you know, I've only been to Florida twice, but I didn't realize how much cockroaches are like you just see them like out and about, like because they were just like every once in a while, like I had seen one at the Disney resort that we were at. It'd just be crawling somewhere, but they were pretty small.
Like, I didn't understand the baseball game. Like, did the ship mess something up or something?
Oh yeah, because they were so the spaceship went flying over the game while they were playing baseball, and the one guy in the outfield was watching it, and then the ball hit him right in the head, like because he wasn't watching the ball, and it hit him in the head. In the spaceship, because he seen the spaceship coming over the stadium. And he wasn't paying attention. Yeah.
Before we go on, I got to talk about the highway scene where they had to go into the tunnel. And so Will Smith, I guess he still don't have his seatbelt on, and the car is transforming, and it goes to the side, and then it goes upside down. And Tommy Lee Jones is just cool with it. He's just like, you know what? Let me play some music for you. Maybe it'll help you calm down. And Will Smith is just like this on the screen, and falling everywhere. And there's some country music. Why did he?
No, it was Elvis, wasn't it? It was like Elvis, and he something like they make an Elvis joke about how he's not really dead. Like,
why did he put a? Oh, go ahead, Corey.
Oh, he just like went to the moon or something.
Yeah.
why did he put in an 8-track player? I was just like, who cares an 8-track player? He was just like, wait, I had to rewind it and look at that, and be like, what is going on?
Yeah,
and Will Smith was just all in the air and everything. And then
it was just like another joke to add to it being such a clunker of a car, because like, you know, like the whole idea of this car that's like super futuristic that can drive on walls and all that kind of stuff, but it's still got an 8-track player in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good joke though. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because those big carts, he just shoves it in.
At the MIB headquarters, Kay tells Jay that he has not been training him as a partner, but as a replacement. Kay bids Jay farewell before Jay neuralizes him at his request. Kay returns to his civilian life, and Laurel becomes Jay's new partner. L. The camera pulls back and zooms out to reveal the entire galaxy is a marble, just like the one around the neck of the cat, Orion. Sorry, being used to play marbles by an alien. And Tommy Lee, we see earlier in the movie that he does have a love for this woman, and after he get neuralized, it shows in a paper that he is up with the woman and everything. Will Smith kind of deduced and everything and stuff like that, and that's kind of Men in Black.
One last thing I want to add to, like, that we kind of passed over that I found really funny. I like how like when they first talked to the mortician or whatever, the lady at the morgue.
Yeah.
Like they have to flash her or whatever, and they do the memory, erasing thing or whatever, and he's like, man, he's like, how many times have you done that to her or whatever? He's like, oh, probably like 3 or 4 times. And Will Smith's like, dang, he's like, aren't you afraid it's like gonna fry her brain or something?
You gonna give her brain cancer?
Yeah. He's like, you haven't ever done that on me, have you? And he's like, nope. Like, as they're walking out, little does he know he did.
Yeah, because they ended up at a restaurant, and Tommy Lee is talking to Will Smith. Will Smith looked drugged in that mug, like.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Oh, and the other thing that I like Will Smith's whole like thing where when you do erase people's memory, that he wants you to do something nice or whatever. And he's like the one, like when they go to see the late Edgar's wife, and and does it to her, and he's like, yeah, he left you. He's like, or you left him. Yeah. And he's like, and you're gonna go out and you're gonna buy yourself some nice clothes.
You're gonna go to Bloomberg. Buy you some nice clothes. And by that time, Tommy Lee's just like, I'm leaving. I can't with you.
Yeah. But then he does though at the end. He's like when he says that they got to erase all the people's memories or whatever, and he's like, oh wait, and can you tell them something nice? So he like finally gives in to that whole idea of telling them something to better those people's lives.
Yeah, and so that is Men in Black. A baffling movie. But people did enjoy it. This was distributed by Sony Pictures.
I enjoyed it.
And Columbia Pictures. It's baffling. It's wacky. It's weird at times.
If you go back and listen to all this talking, it seemed like you enjoyed it.
But there were some things that were wacky that I laughed at, but I couldn't get a tone of this movie. I'm just like, is this an action movie? Is this a thriller? I'm like, what is with this movie? It was just baffling. Not saying that it was good or not saying that it was bad. It was just baffling. um, any thoughts, you guys, about Men in Black?
I mean, it's definitely a movie of its time, right? Like it's still a fun '90s comedy action ish movie. Like like I said, I don't think it's a perfect movie by any means, but it's definitely something that you can still watch and laugh at parts and realize, oh
Still
man,
holds up.
yeah, maybe this movie isn't as good as I remember, but it's still really funny, you know, and it just kind of falls into that 7-ish category where you're like, oh man, this is okay. Like if it's on TV or you can't decide what to watch on Netflix or something, Men in Black is one of those movies that you just like, oh, I'll have it on in the background and pop over occasionally, you know. It still works, I think, too. So
yeah, I enjoyed watching it with my son who hadn't seen it yet, because it was so fun for him, and he enjoyed the characters and stuff, and found that, you know, he's young enough to find the humor and everything that was going on, and like me, he absolutely loved the little alien guys and the whole pug scene. He was cracking up hysterically with the shaking of the pug scene, and it was fun. It was definitely a movie that was fun to watch with him. And I think other than some of the effects and stuff, it really holds up pretty well, I think.
Yeah, and I really think, like, if you're like a parent and you have a kid who like maybe is somewhat interested in action movies or something, I feel like this is like a nice way to ease them into like that kind of more PG-13-ish action movie without you know, people getting their legs blown off or cussing everywhere, or you know what I mean. It's just like a nice it's like a nice PG-13 movie, if that makes sense. You know?
Because I feel like even the cussing and stuff, it's not even really bad word, like that big of words.
Yeah,
like they're not really saying the F word or anything. So
yeah,
they're pretty harmless.
Yeah,
pretty harmless words. Yeah.
Yes. One last thing before we go, there were some video games from this. So the first Men in Black video game, Men in Black the Game, was released for Windows 95 in 1997, followed by a release for the PlayStation. The game, developed by Gigawatt Studios and published Soft Peak Interactive, is loosely based on the 1997 film. Another game titled Men in Black the Series was released for the Game Boy Color in 1999 and is based on the animated television series. It was followed by a sequel in 2000 titled Men in Black 2 the Series, and also for the Game Boy Color. In 2001, a version of Men in Black the Series was released for the Game Boy Advance. Men in Black the Series Crashdown was released later in 2001 for the PlayStation. In 2002, a video game partially based on the second film was released titled Men in Black 2 Alien Escape. A video game published by Activision entitled MIB Alien Crisis was released in May 2012, around the time when the third movie was released.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wasn't there some for Game Boy? But yeah, it was Game Boy Color, right? Yes. I never really played any of them. Honestly,
me neither.
I don't think I played any of the Men in Black games. I'd have to look though. I could have swore I may have played the one on PlayStation.
Yes.
I don't know. I can't remember. That would have been a while ago now.
So Jesse, any last words?
No. Other than, if you're like Ed before today and you haven't seen it, I think you should check it out if you're, if this sounds like the type of movie that you'd be interested in. Because I do think it is one of those movies that I could definitely see at that certain people during that point, that when that movie came out, certain periods of your life, that it would not be very interesting. I think it is a movie that you could definitely either grow out of or be too old to really enjoy it. or be too young that you just didn't, it wasn't a part of your world at that point, and so it just kind of missed out on it. So, but
Yes.
yeah, definitely go check it out.
Well, everybody, that has been our episode of Standard Definition here on Boss Rush Games. To check out more content, you can check us out on YouTube at Boss Rush Games. You can follow us on Twitter at Boss_Rush_Games. You can check out the Boss Rush Games community page on Facebook. And if you guys want to let us know what you guys think about Standard Definition or have a request or anything, you can email us at bossrushgamespro@gmail.com. I want to know what you guys thought about Men in Black. This is your first time watching it. Did you have interest of even watching it? Is it wacky, or is it like just so much fun and laughter? Like, did you really enjoy this, or were you not impressed by it? I should say.
The Men in Black game got a 3.4 out of 10 rating.
Ooh. And this is the 5th highest movie on Rotten Tomatoes. It got a 92% on it. Just want to say that. Corey, do you have anything to
add? Not really. I just, it was a movie that was really good for the time, and it gets a lot of points for nostalgia for me. But like I said, it's if you have kids that are looking to get into like some action-ish movies and you think they're ready for that step, I think this is a good first step into that kind of more adulty type action movies without being over the top. So
yeah,
I agree.
I'd almost say action/horror, because there is some of those aliens are pretty creepy.
Yeah,
too young. Like my son has been just really, really interested in watching horror movies, and some of the stuff that he wants to watch, he doesn't realize would probably make him not be able to sleep for a couple of days. So we're we'll take it easy and watch he watched Gremlins and.
Yeah, it's a good way to be introduced to thrillers and suspense and stuff like that, while still being lighthearted and fun. Yes.
Yeah.
So, guys, you can check out more content at bossrushgames.com. You can check out writings and other videos there too. With that, everybody, have a great week. Have a great weekend whenever you see this episode, and we will see you next time on Standard Definition. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Pew, pew, pew. Pew, pew, pew.
Yeah, squad activate.
Say something nice.
Me and my sister do that.